Cody.
I think. Hey. Oh, are we? Is it official now?
Yeah.
We're going. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Cutie, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Welcome to my show.
Thanks for having me.
I know last time we were on a bed.
We were. That's how I meet a lot of people for the first time.
I know.
I don't know about you.
I'm trying to remember if you had a boyfriend then.
Did I? No, we were broken up at the time.
Oh,
that was during
really?
the hiatus.
Oh, yeah, because I think you were in your like...
Single slut era?
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Yeah. And now you're not anymore.
No, we've rekindled. Gotten back together.
And moved in.
You
called it your apartment.
Yeah.
That's like a big
I know.
thing.
It's kind of like... We kind of like started back where we were. Like we were about to do that. So it was kind of
How
just
long
like...
were you dating before?
4 years? 4 years.
Oh,
now
wow.
it's 5.
So now...
With a hiatus.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, how long was the hiatus?
6 months, technically.
Okay. And then you got back together.
Mm-hmm. We did long distance for like 6 months.
How old is he?
That's a great question. He's about to be 33.
33.
About
and you're
to be
36.
36.
Which we love in this podcast.
36? The age 36?
Yeah. I love...
Or an age gap?
Like, it's not a gap. I love people that are in their 30s plus.
Yeah, we love that.
If someone comes on my show and they're 22, I'm like,
you gotta
that's
go.
The door.
You don't have enough
That's
life
the door.
experience.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Can't have that here. You
Fair
know?
enough. Yeah.
And I love that you do.
Some would say.
You're a man of the world.
A man.
A man of the world.
A full man.
Wait, so now you're living together.
Yeah.
Does that mean like this is the one?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
You're
I mean,
ready to
I'm
give up
also
your...
just someone who takes things very slow. Like, there's no rush. There's no rush to like. We waited a long time to even move in together.
Yeah.
Like, a marriage and stuff will happen when it's right. So like, we'll have that conversation. I don't know. I've always thought about that. That's weird. Like, I don't know.
Who would take that on themselves?
Yeah. I think here's my thing with what I feel like every couple should do is like, I feel like you should have a conversation about getting married.
But then there's no surprise.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, you're okay with no surprise.
Yeah, because I think marriage is more about
how mature you
commitment
are?
and love and
See,
maturity than like, oh my God, this moment that I got surprised. Like,
yeah, you're right.
I think you should have a conversation like, hey, I'm digging you. I see a life with you. Do you think you would want to marry me? Yeah. And then like, it's not like the next day you whip out the ring.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 months, a year from then, you're like, now we do it. And there's still that element of surprise.
Wait, how good for your branding that you're back together because you have this book coming out.
I know. I mean, well, either way, you could go either way with it.
Xoxo Cody.
Yes.
And it is like dating
advice
kind of relationship stuff.
Well, the title is Xoxo Cody, take a nice deep breath.
Okay.
An opinionated homosexual's guide to self-love, relationships, and tactful pettiness. I gotta get as much practice as I can for that title and take deep breaths.
Are you gonna say take a moment every time before you say that?
Possibly,
You're gonna
possibly.
Have to. Wait,
maybe
what's the last line and what pettiness?
Tactful pettiness.
Okay, explain that one to me.
Tactful pettiness. That is kind of like, I'm so known for being brash and saying things up front and telling it like it is. And I feel like, when Beyonce says like the best revenge you can get is your paper, it's like, yeah, you want to be petty, but like do it with like honesty and truth and in a way that doesn't like take away your dignity or shows the cards that you have. I was reading, or I saw this TikTok recently that defined tactful pettiness the best way possible.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is an actual true story, but if it is, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It was this woman who married an older guy and she signed a prenup, but she signed the prenup in like invisible ink or ink that like erased after time, so they like went back when they wanted to get a divorce, and like so the prenup was like void, and so she got half the money. And I was like, that itself is tactful pettiness. Like it's petty, but you did it right,
you
baby.
Did it right. And do you feel like that's your secret sauce?
I don't think that's my secret sauce, but I think that's part of the.
Maybe it's mine.
It's part of the recipe.
Yeah, part of the recipe.
I feel like the book is more about self-love and loving yourself through your flaws and your traumas, loving yourself enough to know your worth, love yourself enough to love yourself, date yourself, know yourself, before you jump into any relationship. And so I really feel like I go through a lot of my stories, some that are super deep and serious, but also the duality of like who I feel like I am is through like levity and purpose and having fun and laughing at ourselves, most importantly.
Did you always love yourself?
No, I feel like I didn't really start this journey of self-love, and I talk about it in the book, really until a breakup. Like my last serious boyfriend, probably like 6 years ago, where I really started to go to therapy and I started to meditate and I started to really sit with myself and my crazy and my thoughts and like
You went
really
due to the breakup, like you were in a bad
I was
space.
like in such a bad space and I like was so in so much pain that I really had to like go through it, and that was a really big process, but that was, I think it's an ongoing process of self-love.
Yeah.
But I think that was the genesis of like my relationship with myself.
Were
Which
you,
sounds
like-
crazy, right? Like being 20
Where were you?
yeah, like 26 in New York City and like just now starting a relationship with ourselves. I don't feel like a lot of us have that.
Well, I think that's why when I said before, like, I'm so happy you're 36, that's part of what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, you showed already in the few minutes that we started why, and I'm not saying if you're 20, I'm jealous. Like, live your life, have fun. I fucking love it. But I do think there's something about turning 30 and getting to know yourself, knowing exactly that relationship, listening to yourself. I was just giving that example. I did a podcast right before this, and I was like, I used to do things just that had no reason.
Yeah.
Like everyone got like a vodka cranberry. I got a vodka.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like vodka. Why am I not doing what I want to do? I don't know myself. What am I drinking? And now I'm that girl that's like, do I want the tequila? Like I'll take the time to decide on the fucking drink I want, and I'm not gonna just get something
Because somebody else is.
Right.
Or do something because somebody else is.
or
doing.
because like that's what everyone's doing. You know.
I love that.
So I love that you got this relationship with yourself
And
at
I
that
think-
age. And I think that is normal though.
Yeah, I think the 20s are a good time to be messy, make mistakes, be a dumbass.
Yeah.
I think your 30s, I feel like any time that I hear that someone's turning 30 and they're like, oh, I'm turning 30. I'm like, no, baby, like your 30s are amazing.
Amazing.
You know yourself. You are more like, you're more in tune with who you are. And hopefully you have more money because your 30s can be like as messy or as fun as your 20s with money.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Hopefully.
Okay. So you are a Gemini,
Yes.
which made so much sense to me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is she-
I'm a Gemini too.
Oh,
Yeah,
when's your
yeah.
birthday?
May 31st.
Okay, she's a May Gemini, right on the cusp.
Right on the cusp.
I know.
So, but for men, like, okay, so women.
Are you about to ask me like where I was born and what time?
No, I don't
Okay,
fucking know
great.
that
Okay.
shit. I just always thought that like women Geminis are like fun, quirky, like all those things. But like, I don't know if I'd want to be in a relationship with a male Gemini.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like men, at least straight ones, get like a bad, maybe it comes out differently for like a straight
I mean,
male
I
Gemini.
would say I'm probably a lot to deal with. So I don't know. I can see that.
But do you have like patterns in relationships that are like difficult or
Yeah, for sure. And I'm learning to. I've learned to undo them, and I'm still learning to undo them.
Yeah.
Not TMI, but like I feel like just in the same way that personal therapy has helped me figure out who I am.
Yeah.
Me and my boyfriend are doing couples therapy right now because I feel like when we got back together, we were like, listen, we want to do this right. We don't want to just jump into this. Like, speaking of patterns, like let's figure out what wasn't working. Let's fix it. Let's fix that. Let's learn to communicate better. Let's learn to understand each other better. And I feel like that's me trying to, like, through the reflection of the relationship, trying to figure out my bullshit and what I'm bringing to the table and do better with.
I love that.
Yeah.
What a mature decision.
Yeah, for sure.
Was it yours?
No,
What
it was
your
ours.
idea?
Like,
yeah?
no, it's just that like I'm a firm believer in therapy, and interesting enough, I think I learned that the stigma from therapy is such bullshit once I started going to therapy and how beautiful it can be.
Yeah.
I think on the same spectrum or same space, there's all this stigma against couples going to therapy of
Right.
like, okay,
Like, oh, they
you must be doomed. Like,
Yeah.
what is the problem? Like,
Yeah.
just the same way that you're learning to develop yourself when you go talk to your therapist, I think that couples doing the same thing.
You're right. You're right. Now therapy for individuals is mostly just stigmatized, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like cool now. Everyone goes to therapy. But couples therapy still has the stigma. It's like, oh, what's wrong there? They're
exactly.
You're right.
And I'm also someone who believes that like you shouldn't be just going to therapy when things are wrong.
Right.
Because if you're not kind of doing that as a maintenance, of like also going to therapy and talking about the success, the joy, the happiness, the good things. Like,
even though it doesn't feel sometimes like a waste of money when you just
I know, yes, it
you're
does.
Like, fuck,
you're not wrong.
And like
you're not wrong.
And I was gloating the whole time.
Yeah, but what other spaces do you talk to yourself in like a really positive way? Like, no, you're not sitting there and be like, oh yeah, like life is good. I am happy. My job is going well. I love my partner. Like,
where can you say that where like you really feel supported unless it's somebody that's being paid to listen to you?
Don't shit on it.
Wait, but I want to talk about your whole story because people know you today and they might not even have a Peloton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you love that? Are you like, I love that you're here? Like, what excites you more? Like an audience member, a follower, somebody that comes up to you that loves you because they take your classes or because they found you online and just think you're funny?
I don't. I love that people find some sort of joy in whatever it is that I put out into the world.
Yeah.
If it's TikTok content, if it's Peloton content, if it's my book, like I just want to infuse everything that I do with a little bit of purpose.
Yeah.
And so however you might have found me and I gave you a good little laugh and I brought a little joy into your life, hopefully.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think there's a little bit more weight into Peloton members just because I've been on that journey. I just celebrated like 9 years of teaching at Peloton. So it's been almost a decade in the making.
Wow. That's actually insane.
I know. And so knowing that people have been on the journey with me and how...
Saw you as a boy.
A boy with a horrible man bun haircut when I started off.
No.
You can find the pictures online.
I love a man bun moment. Oof. Why, you cringe at it now?
Oh, God, it was so bad. It just wasn't. It was not cute.
Wait, did you know when you got into Peloton what it was going to be?
No,
what did you
not
think
really.
Then?
Honestly,
was
like
anybody already famous from it? And
no, I mean, Robin probably had like 100,000 Instagram followers at the time and had written a book and like was kind of like the most famous of us, but I don't think anybody was like popping off the way that they are now.
Yeah.
No, when I started Peloton, I was just like, I was coming out of being a commercial dancer, kind of tired of that, running around these streets just trying to make $1. Like I worked at the Box in the Lower East Side. I was cater waitering.
Okay, wait. Tell people what the Box is because
the box is a.
Wait, what did you do at the Box?
I stopped So the Box is a club in the Lower East Side that has a very interesting burlesque show.
No, when I went to the Box, somebody peed on stage.
Yes, exactly.
So that's an interesting
burlesque show.
So yeah.
And so my job. There's also topless dancers there.
Yeah.
So my job, breaking the table. Yeah. My job was to stop drunk patrons, maybe not drunk, but mostly, from taking pictures of the show and or the topless girls, to protect the girls because like they were showing the titties.
Yeah.
And then B, I guess, to protect the IP of the Box so people weren't stealing the ideas. So they had probably like 3 or 4 shows.
Were you like security?
Essentially, I was like an elevated, prettier security. Like I just was like, no, sir, no, thank you.
Right,
put the phone down. Put the phone
even
down.
Though men could be, or whoever was on stage could be being on stage, it's still like a cool. It's like it's a very you can't get into the Box.
Yeah, it's a very.
So was it? No one was like. No one was like.
Fix the shirt. Okay,
no one was like. No one was good. It's not a spot where someone would like punch you for being like no pictures. They'd like respect.
I'm not. I'm too pretty to fight anybody, even for whatever they were paying me an hourly rate. I would, if someone was to get violent or rude, I would go get the real security. I'm not getting a black eye for someone's titty. Sorry, ladies.
You were working there, and then did you see like an ad?
No, so one of the directors there of the show had a connection to a guy that worked at Peloton, and so he sent an email knowing that director knew performers.
One of the directors of the box?
One of the directors of the show. So like the director, choreographer of the show had a connection, I think a college connection to one of the earlier employees of Peloton. And so obviously that person knew that he knew performers. And literally the email was like, hey, do you know any performers that would be into fitness? And so I worked out and I was a dancer. So he was like, hey, would you be interested in this? And I was like, yeah, why not?
What was the audition like?
Literally, there was no audition. I walked in, had a cute face, and had a job 20 minutes later.
Really?
Yeah.
And you didn't have to show that you could bike?
No. They're like, we'll train you like next week. It's a whole different company back then. It's a startup.
Right. Did you like cycling at that point? Did you
once in a while I would take a spin class at like the gym that I went to, but it wasn't something that I did consistently or knew how to teach. So it's like literally I had to figure it out.
So you took this opportunity as like a job?
Yeah, like as a job to like make some money.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the career that was possible probably until like a year or two into it. I think John Foley at the time was always like preaching this like vision, and I was like, yeah, sure girl. And then like once I got into it, I was like, oh wait, this could actually happen. So I like really dove into it.
Isn't that wild how random things are?
Yeah.
Wait, do you like growing up, were you into theater, like being in entertainment? Did you think you were going into that world?
Yeah, so I was definitely like a theater kid.
Yeah.
Like I was in plays and show choir and musicals, even though I can't sing. Ren, my assistant, didn't combat that, but she wants me to get there.
Wait, you think he can sing?
No. It's
Aww.
barely. Okay. Do not ask me to sing.
I am not.
Please, you would
never.
Denied. So I was definitely that girl. The only sport I was ever good at was tetherball.
What's tetherball?
You know, it's a recess game with like a pole and like a rope and a ball, and you like, and it spins around. And I was only really good at it because I was tall.
Wait, and now are you good at sports?
Sports, no, but like working out, I'm not competitive. Like being competitive in a sport sounds so stupid. In gym class, the poor straight boys that were in my like high school gym class and like on like when we had days that we played a sport like basketball and I was on their team, I would like purposely like do bad because they would get so angry and like, take it so seriously.
That's so
no, I was just like being a little punk. That's all.
That's so cute. Yeah. But you didn't come out till later, right?
Oh, like come out of the closet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably like 19, college.
Gotcha.
But everyone knew.
But oh yeah, you think?
I was like, look at me, like I can't hide this. Come on, babe.
Because you grew up in
North Carolina.
Yeah. What's it like there, growing up there?
Lots of strip malls and fast food restaurants and I don't know.
And you stayed there for college.
Good food, great food,
really?
Amazing food, beautiful
that.
food, beautiful gowns, beautiful food.
Oh, love that.
But not my place.
And you stayed there for college.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's a choice.
I tried to come up here. I did try to transfer my sophomore year.
Yeah.
I tried to go to Marymount Manhattan, and I also tried to go to AMDA because I was still trying to go, which is like a
design. No,
it's like a musical theater school.
Oh yeah.
But it's like a 2-year school, and they charge you like $100,000 a semester.
Oh yeah.
So glad I didn't go. I applied to both, got into both, and then even when I was 19, I was like, I'm not going into like $100,000 or more into debt to go to school. I was like, I'm good. I'll just stay here for a few years and figure it out. And I'm so glad I did.
Did you dorm there? Were you like living?
I was in the dorm my freshman year. I have a great story in my book about it.
And then what about your next years?
Let's see. I lived with a friend off campus. Then my mom was kind of going through it, and I went to school in the same town that I grew up in. So I moved back in with my mom to help her with like bills and stuff.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, and then in my senior year, I moved back out to like with some randoms.
So you graduated, and when you graduated, did you immediately move?
Oh
to New
yeah,
York?
I just celebrated 14 years in New York City.
That's
July
wild.
7th is my New York anniversary. 14 years.
That happened.
Yeah, just now.
Celebrated it. Oh my God, congrats. Do you feel like a New Yorker?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Honey, when that 10-year mark hit, I was like, I'm a New Yorker.
Like
a
if
New
someone's
Yorker.
like, where are you from? I'm from New York.
I'm from New York.
I'm from
I mean,
New
I'm
York.
from North Carolina, but I
Yeah.
am a New Yorker.
You're a New Yorker.
Yeah, I love
the
city.
So did you know though that you were gonna move? Like when you were in college?
Yeah,
like, I
yeah,
can't wait
yeah,
to
yeah.
graduate. Like I'm moving out of here.
Because I came here like between my senior year of college, senior year of high school, and freshman year of college, like on a little trip with my girlfriend, my best friend Casey, and I just fell in love with the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you moved here, did you have in mind like what you wanted to do?
I thought I was gonna do like theater and stuff like that.
Oh, like that you were gonna audition and.
But then I kind of fell in love with commercial dance. So that's like.
What does that mean?
That's like stuff you would see in like a hip hop video or a music video or TV, like backup for artists and stuff like that. So I really.
Did you get jobs in that?
Yeah, I was always a great dancer. I think that's why I like really gravitated towards like musicals and stuff.
Yeah.
But then once I came here to train, I really fell in love with that aspect of it, and I was good at it. So I danced professionally for like 4 or 5 years.
But isn't it like rigorous, the auditioning process?
Yeah, it's also just like a ton of mental games of bullshit. Like I don't know.
Like what? Like when they cut people and leave people and like that kind of thing?
I mean, like, listen, it's such a small world, and I think the hard part of being a dancer and artist at all is just you put so much of your self-worth in other people validating you.
Yeah.
You know, like it's no longer, and I think that's a big reason why I kind of left the dance world or got tired of it, is because I took something that I was passionate about and was fun, and then turning that into a job, it messes with you mentally, where you put so much of your self-worth and your happiness in booking work and other people validating you, when there's so many other parts of the puzzle that you have no control over,
right?
That gets mixed in, that you can't always separate. Does that make sense?
Do you still dance now?
I mean, I did Dance with the Stars, and we've done dance cardio at Peloton, but no, I've hung up my dancing shoes as far as that.
No, but do you ever like do like just like workout dance classes or no?
No.
Oh my God, I'd love to see you dance.
I feel like me and my friend always say we should go back to Broadway Dance Center and take a class, but I do so much working out.
You trained at Broadway Dance?
Yeah,
that was the place.
Yeah, I was an intern there for in 2006.
I remember getting like a class there then was like $20.
Probably.
And that was like so much.
It's so expensive.
And probably now it's like $65.
Probably.
No, it's
Who
probably
knows?
like
I haven't been in a very long time.
Wait, so tell me about doing these Peloton videos.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to set it up for somebody that doesn't Peloton.
Okay.
Do you go into a studio?
Yeah, so we have a beautiful, immaculate studio on 31st and 10th in Hudson Yards. There's a cycling studio, a tread studio, a strength studio, and a yoga studio. And obviously I'm on the cycling team. So we have a beautiful, state-of-the-art, cameras in there. I got the music bumping. We're like going through a great class that people take at home. Some of the classes we have members come into the studio.
Oh, some members come in?
Yeah, it's like a live studio audience. We love it. So it's like such a great gig. Because,
how many do you do a week?
Anywhere from like 4 to 6.
That
not
is
too bad.
That's
not listen, compared to people who teach in the boutique fitness space, like,
oh yeah.
There's people in the city who are teaching 10 to 12 classes a week.
Right.
And I'm really fortunate that obviously Peloton's business is based on like scale. Like we are doing this to the masses online where people take it. And and we have a team of 50 instructors. So I don't need to teach 12, 15 classes a week. Like I have the privilege to teach 4 to 6, and it still has a lot of impact, and it's quality over quantity.
Do you like design your own classes, like what they're gonna look like, the vibe, the music, everything?
Always, yeah. Like play from the playlist to the programming to the stupid shit that I say. It's all up to me.
No censoring.
I mean, if you've taken my class, you'd be hard to find censoring, and there's plenty of things that come out of my mouth. They're like, they let him say that. So
wait, do you ever feel like because you're like, you got so popular for being this fitness dude, that do people ever like see you drinking and they're like, wait, that's not like, do you feel like you have to live this like healthy lifestyle or like portray this?
Not at all. I think what I learned over the years was trying to fit into that box of like what everyone thinks of a fitness instructor did not work for me.
Yeah.
And I think so much of why people gravitate towards my class or my content is because like it's authentically me, and I am a mess. Like I love eating shitty food. I love going out and being a mess and drunk and like having fun and dancing. Like I am not perfect. I don't try to be perfect. I don't try to say that I have this super well balanced like Zen life. Like I have a life that is full of joy and messiness, but also a ton of like hard work and discipline. Like I don't believe in just trying to fit into one box.
Oh, I love that. That's way more relatable than like
I would hope so.
an instructor that has
it all put together. It seems fake to me.
And it's working for you. Like if it wasn't, like I wouldn't want to take an instructor that like something's not working. Yeah,
you
like you're not.
People can smell bullshit.
Yeah. But for you it is. So what's your like, are you like 80-20? Like do you try to be healthy most of the time?
Yeah, I think 80-20 is a good fix. I think summer is really hard for me because I'm out in these streets way too often. I'm shaking my ass. What's
happening in these streets though?
Dancing, drinking. Summer in New York is the time to have fun, and we are in the house. We're in our apartments for like 7 to 8 months when it's cold.
I know.
So like when it's hot out, my cheeks are out. Like we're having fun. We're turning up.
Wait, so you said New York is now 10 years, right?
14
years.
Yes.
Do you ever get the itch to move to like LA or
to move?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
I'm in LA enough that
you get your fix.
I get my fix. I'm there like once every 2 to 3 months where I'm doing work or whatever. And I love to visit LA. Great food, great weather. People are questionable. That's subjective. And I love it. Same thing with Miami. Like go down to Miami.
Yeah.
Go to poolside, have food, turn up, go shopping, live it up, and then go back home. I never have this desire to I don't have a desire to live anywhere else. Maybe when I'm older, somewhere international.
Oh, okay.
Like South America. I love Brazil, so like maybe, but we'll get there when we get there.
Oh my God, I love that.
Have you ever lived in LA?
No.
Have you lived outside of New York?
Well, yeah, I lived in Israel.
Oh,
we were talking
love
about
Israel.
You said you visited, but
do you speak Hebrew?
Yeah, fluently.
Oh, work.
Yeah. Wait, why were you there again? You said it was one of the first countries.
It was the absolute first country that I visited.
That's so wild.
Right around the time I started Peloton, about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right when I started the training process at Peloton, actually. All of my friends were like, we're going to go for Tel Aviv Pride, which is so much fun.
Oh my God.
And so we spent like, I think 8 days there.
That's so
went
cool.
Went to like Jerusalem, Haifa.
And went to the Pride.
Went to Pride.
Oh, great.
So much fun. Hot guys. Hot women too. I'm not into them, but beautiful women.
Yeah.
Incredible food.
I love that food is so important to you.
Oh my God.
I notice now, like,
I love food.
Food is like really important.
Yeah, like why are we missing out on that aspect?
No, I know.
Life?
Do you cook?
I can cook. I just don't have the time.
Does boyfriend cook?
No.
So you're just ordering.
I cook more than he does.
So you're ordering.
Or like I think the stuff that I cook is just super efficient. Like it's like throw something in the air fryer, like a piece of salmon or chicken, and like have some sort of like rice or
you're not doing
ready
like
to go.
you're not doing like a quiche. You're not like a,
no.
You're not baking.
I could if I had the time.
Chicken.
It's just like right now where my life is, the time is not spent on cooking.
I know.
If things were to slow down, it is something that I love to do.
You would
but
want to learn.
Not right now.
Not right now.
Yeah.
You also bought a new house.
I did.
In Fire Island.
Yeah, it's
That's
always
so
been a
fun.
dream.
Really?
Yeah.
Fire Island is very niche, by the way, you guys. Because that you know what? That proves you're a New Yorker.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Fire Island is like a Hamptons vibe, like kind of a summer house.
Yeah.
Situation for people that live in New York.
Yeah, I've never been to the straighter parts of Fire Island. So the Pines is a very gay community.
Oh, okay.
And so is Cherry Grove, and those two are very.
Wait, isn't
gay.
Fire Island one thing?
It is, but there's separate like communities that are like along the island, and the Pines is historically like a gay space. And ever since I went there about, I think maybe like, I don't even 12 years ago.
Yeah,
it just has this magic and this essence that I've always been like pulled towards.
Yeah.
And it's just always been a dream. And so since I had that, I did.
And then you bought the house.
Yeah.
Did that feel like an amazing accomplishment?
Yeah.
To buy your own home.
Yeah, it's just something. It's a dream like crystallized into
fruition.
Real form.
Yeah.
You know. And I just there's something about interior design and making a space that's really brings me a lot of joy. So also it's a lot of work, but it's also like I love it.
So now living this life where you can like buy a house and like do all these things that you weren't doing before. Do you pinch yourself in moments and are like, whoa, or does it all make sense? Are you like, no, meant to live this life, that me?
You know what? If I'm gonna be real, as much as I talk about like, I don't think this is necessarily against like the idea of self-love. Someone there?
Ignore them.
Is it Amazon delivery?
Ignore them.
Okay, ignore them. No. I think something that I'm working on and continue to work on is letting in the joy and going back to that conversation of like when life is good, like go to your therapist and like celebrate those things. I think sometimes it's hard for me to feel the successes or to feel the joy of the successes. And I'm working on letting that in and giving myself space to feel that.
Yeah.
I talk about it in my book. I actually talk about this in my book. I think growing up super poor and at times like not knowing where a meal is going to come from or not knowing where we're going to live, I always feel that any sort of success or things are going to be fleeting or taken away from me in a moment's notice. So sometimes I feel like I don't feel the joy or let it in because I'm afraid of losing it. I know it's very deep.
But does that also keep you grounded, you think?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But I think it's important to like ground yourself and allow yourself to feel the good things instead of being afraid all the time.
So you're working on that.
Working on it.
On like enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
Being like, whoa, I did this.
Yeah. And there's moments that I like sit there and I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible and amazing. And like I cry or I'm happy and I do it. But I know that there's a big part of me that still resists it.
Yeah. How do your parents feel about your success?
It's just my mom. So my dad passed when I was like very young. And no, it's all good.
No, it's actually fine.
I talk about it in my book. Like he died when I was very young. And so like, I don't really feel like I have a connection to my dad because he just died when I was very young. It's like more of an idea than it is a person.
Yeah. Does your therapist try to tell you that you're lying to yourself?
No.
Okay,
no,
she accepts that?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Are you trying to therapize me and say I'm lying about it?
No, because when I feel my dad is not dead, but I feel the same way about him.
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of times it's like, no, she must be like fucked up about it or she must be, and it's like, no, I actually just don't feel a connection to it.
No, I think for a long time I felt some sort of shame when I was growing up because I didn't.
How old were you when
like 4 months? Like
oh wow, that's really young.
Yeah, like very young. So I think when I was younger, I felt a lot of shame towards it because you see all these people with normal families and like growing up a certain way, and then I kind of accepted. I was like, no, that's just like how I was. That was what was destined for me, and I'm grateful that I grew up this way because it brought me to where I am.
Yeah.
And that more of the feelings that I had was more so the shame of comparing myself than it was of missing a person.
Right, because all you knew was just being raised by mom.
Yeah.
Do you have siblings?
No, only child.
Only child.
Yeah. But my mom is, she's a character in herself, but she's super proud and she's...
Do you go out and visit her a lot?
I moved her to Brooklyn. She's like 4 blocks away from me.
Shut up.
Yeah, she's getting older and she has like mental health issues and diabetes and... I just want to make sure she's okay.
Do you take care of her?
Yeah, essentially,
Wow.
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's about to be, I think, 1954, 70 in a year. So she's 69. She just turned 69.
And was she down to move to Brooklyn?
Yeah. Well, first.
Yeah.
So in 2019, in October, I moved her to Nutley, New Jersey, because I was like, New York might be a little too much for us.
Yeah.
So it was like this little town in Jersey that's like an hour outside of New York.
Yeah.
And then that was just becoming too much of a commute
for you.
Yeah, and even like she was there during the pandemic, so I was like going out there, going to ShopRite. At the time, I was like washing her like groceries. We were all doing these crazy things during the pandemic.
Right, right. I remember.
But she's like a diabetic and old, and I wanted to make sure she was okay. Yeah. So I didn't.
That's amazing. Yeah. What an amazing son.
Thank you.
You are.
Thank you.
Good for you. Okay, so the new book, Xoxo Cody, when is it coming out?
September 12th.
September 12th. You can pre-order now.
You can pre-order it now. Yes.
And so many stories, because look how many times you said it's in the book.
It's in the book.
What do you want people, if you had one thing for people to take away from this book, what's the most important thing for you?
I think the most important thing is to be inspired to love yourself more and to not take life seriously. Like, laugh, bitch. It's not that deep.
Love that. Okay, a little bit of pop culture before we
go.
Okay. What do you think of the whole Ariana Grande thing?
Is any of this true?
Oh my God, don't be one of those.
Listen. Okay, so if it is true, we'll talk about it.
What do you think? It's PR for Wicked?
I don't know.
No.
I will say that this SpongeBob boy is not out of the realm of like boys that she would date. Like she doesn't have a great track record.
You're
Let's
saying
be honest.
For everyone being like
mediocre, that looks mediocre, and for her being like hot.
It's so weird when you get into, because we're so trained already to not judge people how they look, right? And then all of a sudden Ariana Grande dates like this rando, and we're all like, but he's, and then we start being kind of mean, like, and it's like, wait, we haven't been kind of discussing people's looks for a while, and now we're kind of back at it being like, how is she dating SpongeBob?
But like, okay, but here's the thing, like, yes, we shouldn't be judging people like, but it's like straight men, and like we can dog on straight men for a little bit. That's okay. They're fine.
Okay.
Like
they're fine. I love that.
They've been judging women for quite some time. Like, let's dish it back out.
I accept.
Yeah. Like,
so you're right.
I'm tired of seeing busted ass men with hot girls. I'm tired of it. Ladies, stop. Stop settling.
But you said something very true. Ariana has a pattern of choosing
mediocre men,
or not even mediocre, just like, also think someone you wouldn't think she would date, like Pete Davidson, even though she was a Pete Davidson pioneer.
She was the first of many.
She was the first of many. People thought it was weird. Then she was defending. Remember, she defended his eyes.
Yeah, He's kind of like, but you know what? Like, I will say this about Pete Davidson. He's kind of like. He's ugly, but ugly hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's hot.
I get it.
Yeah, he's hot.
I see it. I see
it's
that.
Not like SpongeBob. It's not the same situation.
But like whatever.
Like, what I said, you guys, was
SpongeBob.
when his wife, Lily J, sent him off. Her friends were probably like, "Oh my God, aren't you nervous? Like he's gonna be with Ariana," and she was probably like, "No,
she's married."
And also, no, I married him for a reason, to not be nervous.
But we don't know if any of this is true. But we're just saying if it is true. If it is true.
No, how about I tell you this, Cody? I'm a pop culture queen.
Okay.
It's true.
Okay.
Because I know it.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair.
So it's true.
Fair. Okay.
And you think it's wild?
I think it's wild. I also just like, I want to be like kind to Ariana, but at the same time, like, baby, when you got married after meeting some guy like 6 months in, like, we knew that wasn't gonna last.
No, you didn't see babies from Dalton.
No, I'm just like, it's kind of like when your friends make dumb decisions and you like know it's not gonna work. You just gotta let your friends do dumb shit. You just gotta be like, hey girl, okay, I think this is a horrible idea, but here you go. And she kind of has a little bit of a pattern with that.
Yeah, she has a pattern.
Marrying the real estate agent after 6 months of knowing him, and now like sleeping with your co-star.
Yeah.
Directly after a breakup.
Not babe. Babe, Cody.
Was it even? Is it not directly after a breakup?
No.
Okay, all right. Well, it's during.
It's during.
Oh,
it's like a whole cheating thing.
Oh my God. Okay, well, that's cute.
Okay, Harry Styles.
Okay, what about him?
Like, do you feel him hard?
No.
Really?
No, I don't.
Tell me.
There's nothing about. I'm not anti Harry Styles. He's just like not on my radar.
Really?
I don't get
not
it.
On your list.
Like he's not hot to me.
What?
I'm not saying he's not hot. He's just not hot to me.
Yeah.
So he does nothing for me.
Type.
Not at all. And
how do you feel about him? Like with the flag. Like, some people?
Yeah. Oh, like is he gay baiting?
Yeah.
I don't really care about that. Like, I think I don't think he's gay baiting, and like more straight men, or I don't know, is he straight? I don't.
That's what people don't know. But the thing is with me,
he's straight, but he's probably sucked a dick.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
And that's fine.
And
I think there's tons of straight men that have sucked a dick.
No, but you know what bothers me though?
And that's okay.
I love that he's an ally. I think that's so important. But I think like we know of all the famous women you've dated. So give us one.
That is true. That's what. Well, does he talk publicly about the famous women that he dates either?
No, but
okay. So that's fair.
Wow, you are. I get your vibe, Cody. I get your vibe when it comes to pop culture. You err on like the side of like what we're shown.
Yeah,
like,
I don't like to make.
You're not
or like
conspiring.
if I'm gonna talk about a conspiracy, then I'm gonna say like, hey, I'm talking about this in a conspiracy kind of way. So don't take what I say with a grain of salt. This is not fact. But this is just what I've heard on the internet.
If he's seen with Olivia Wilde and he's seen with Emrata and he was seen with Kendall and he was seen with all these people, but he was never somehow seen. Do you get what I mean? Sometimes celebrities are seen. They know they're.
Maybe
you know what I mean?
Maybe he hasn't had. Maybe he hasn't had a romantic connection with a man.
Oh, but he has had
but
sexual.
like, you know, has been in a steam room and like, you know, had a little fun.
I love that. That's true. Okay, but funny, like interesting to know that he's not your people that.
He doesn't do anything for me musically, looks wise.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, musically,
the girls that love him love him. It's not for me.
Can we all agree? Like, it's not where it's at.
It was not deserving of album of the year. Renaissance Beyonce was once again.
Oh, okay. So that's almost our next question.
You know?
Favorite Kardashian Jenner?
I'm not a Kardashians kind of girl.
Really?
Yeah, my old roommate used to watch Kardashians all the time, and I was like, I don't want to watch this.
But okay, a favorite. You got to pick one.
Favorite?
To like be friends with.
To be friends with?
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to make the question.
Are they paying? As long as they're paying for my vacations.
Okay,
because they can't afford it.
Okay, who's paying?
Maybe Courtney.
Okay, I love that.
She seems the realist.
Yeah.
And the vocal fry really gets me.
Okay, love that. So you like me too.
Yeah.
That's my voice.
Yeah.
Okay, so love that. Do you watch Bravo?
No, I'm not a big Bravo girly either.
Are you reality TV?
At times. Like
What do you watch?
I've been watching a lot of. I know this is weird, but like Project Runway, it's very and Drag Race. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I love like a competition show like that. I love Drag Race.
I used to watch Project Runway.
I know. I stopped for a long time, and then all of a sudden I picked it back up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I love that.
But Bravo, not really.
Not really. Okay.
I used to love like Housewives of Atlanta, but like I haven't watched it in years.
You gave up.
Gave up.
Watch the new New York.
Okay, we will.
It just started.
With Jenna Lyons and her new teeth. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm saying
icon.
So I feel like you could get into it because it just started.
Okay.
Last question: Taylor Swift or Beyonce?
Wow, you didn't do your research.
Wait, I know that you're a big Beyonce fan.
Beyonce. I'm not. I'm gonna. Everyone tries to get me with Taylor Swift.
How many times did you go to Renaissance?
Twice. I just went on Saturday, and I went in Paris.
Oh my God.
It is the most incredible
so
concert
FOMO.
that you will ever see in your life. It is curated so well. It is performed so well. Like, it is. It's like seeing a historical moment. I'm not exaggerating. It's so good.
Do you dance to Beyonce?
Of course.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the parts of the tour that I did know.
You didn't?
Did.
Oh, you
I would
know,
dance in the aisle.
Oh, you know, like.
Well, we did do a Beyonce dance cardio class at Peloton with Beyonce's like choreographer and her dancers,
cool.
Ashley and Hannah, and so we did like formation, we did diva, so like I remembered some of the choreography, and it's the real choreography.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, so
I know
it was
some
fun.
of like Britney's choreography.
Of course, same.
Yeah, I love
same.
it. Okay, well, Cody, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for
so
having
for
me.
your book to come out.
Yes, please. Anybody listening, pre-order. Pre-order. Give your girl a listen or a read, and I'd appreciate it.
Yay.